what, God, I trust you. Know what your daughter like and do. And this apartment not outside. And I can control my AC through my phone. And I got the internet. And I got lights everywhere. White cabinets. I moved here blindly. I didn't know what it looked like. I was just off of faith and prayer. Like, I didn't see the apartments. I could only go off of the photos. Sometimes it do suck. Like, dang, who do I talk to about this excitement? Who do I talk to about this journey? Who do I show how good God is? And it's like, you know what? He has given me this platform. Talk to his people. I don't even know how we got here. We're talking about my move to Dallas. Hey y'all, how your girl got to Dallas? First, I said my prayer and thank you so much, Jesus. He is here with us. 1, 2, or 3 gather in his name, he is in the midst. So he is proud of his people. He is proud of you. If you are here watching right now, God wants you to see this video. So right now, it's crazy because I wanted a title for this video. Do you really want what God has for you? Do you really want the promised land that he promised to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Do you want what he has for you? I say yes, and then when yes comes, it comes with turbulence. It's turbulence, baby. It's like they say it's turbulence going into Texas. I'm in Texas and I'm in the heart of the city. Okay, so it's called, do you really want what God has for you? Once he gives you all your wants and needs of your desires and your heart and everything that you ask for, now what? What are you going to do now? Are you really going to still bless his name? Are you still going to count on him? Are you still going to call on him? Are you still going to be there when he calls for you? Are you going to pick up the phone? Are you going to profess who gave you this land? So I have wrote down some notes. I've already showed y'all how I write my notes down. Literally wrote the notes down. It says how we should live as believers. It says love your God, love the Lord your God with all your heart. We are supposed to love God with all of our heart. Just like how we say I love you, boo. Don't act like y'all got no boos. Just how we say I love you, boo, or you always talking to that boy, or you always talking to that female on the phone. Yeah, that's how God wants us to be with him, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes in this moving process, I was talking to God, but I wasn't in the word. And then I seen how it gradually got me in distance from God. It was for like a month, 3 to 4 weeks. And I can see how, like, just the little things that we take for granted that God does, and when he takes it away, it's just like, dang. And for me, when I say the little things, like, God would wake me up in the morning time, way before Alexa would wake me up. So it's just be like, oh, he thinks about me, he cares. So it gradually started to go away, and I really felt some type of way one day when I didn't wake up, and I felt so tired. I said, where's my energy? God, where's my energy? He was like, oh, you haven't been talking to me. It's just like, so what now? Like, you ain't getting into my word. You're not listening. Like, this is the time that you need to be the closest with him. So it's like, do you really want what I have for you? If you really want what I have for you, like, we got to be like this. In this season right here, when in isolation, when he called me, I need to be on the path with him. Like, we have to be here and here with it. Like, it can't be I'm over here and I'm thinking I'm walking with him, but it's like he's just staring at me and I'm just veering off type thing. So it's just like he wants us to be here and here with it. So in that time, it's just we take the little stuff for granted. Like, God will wake you up, or he'll wake me up, and it's just like, oh, I feel refreshed. But them past couple of days, I was going to bed late, not reading my Bible, waking up early, taking her to right on to school, not reading my Bible, still trying to do stuff on my own, not reading my Bible, talking to God like, God, you want me to do this? All right, boom. Don't wait for an answer. Do what I have to do. And I honestly feel like that's not the way it should have went coming here. I know this is the promised land that he had for me, and he confirmed it several times. And I'm going to go way more into details about what we should be as believers in my podcast. Don't forget to go follow my channel. It's Pure Essence Podcast. It is a new venture for me, because I've been watching a lot of podcast videos on YouTube, and I'm like, I can do this. I sit here and watch podcasts all the time. I can listen to what I gotta say, because I would sit here and watch myself the whole time. It just wouldn't be, it'd be real cringing sometimes. I'm like, ooh, why I sound like that? Since we talking about my trip to God, my trip to Dallas, I'm going to tie this into it. Oh my gosh, it's crazy because I be watching this girl YouTube, and she is so a good storyteller. And me, it's just like, where do I start? I'm like, wait a minute, did I do my memory, having kids, my memory. So in the beginning, I've been saying I wanted to move to Texas. Sorry, y'all, I talk with my hands. But Texas. And I was like, okay, God, I'm moving to Houston. I literally said this the beginning of last year. Let me see. I wrote it in my notes. I think I screenshotted it, but I should have kept it how it was at first. Because I should have said when God changes your plans. Nope. I got it. It's right here. I've been wanting to move to Houston for so long, and it's crazy because I used to like Beyonce so much. I would say, okay, I'm moving to Houston, and I have it right here. It says big 5-car garage house in Houston. So I was like, all right, this was moving into my new space last year. I was like, dang, I really want to go to Houston, but you know what? My finances not there. I ain't really talk about it with God, so we just going next year. We locked in. We locked in. I'm moving to Houston, and I had that plan, that mindset. I didn't know how I was gonna get that. My finances was not that great, not as much as it could have been, but it was not that great. So I was like, all right, I'm moving to Houston. That whole year I was at my place. I fell off a track. I was talking to this boy. God had removed him from my life peacefully. Well, no, I had removed myself from the situation peacefully, because I'm starting to look at the red flags. Before I seen the red flags, I left, but he got back into my ear. But I feel like I was so strong at first. If I would have left, I should have just left it alone, because I was really done with it. Like, don't go through nobody's phone. And I'm not doing that. If I don't trust you, But I really thought that he was the one. I really thought he was the one, y'all. We would pray before dinner. This is before I really got into my words. So I'm like, all right, we praying. He doing this. He wanted me meet his family. Like, we doing big things. But test the fruit. Test the fruit. Now I know you gotta test the fruit. Test the fruit. Test the fruit. Test the fruit. But I mean, you live and you learn. I honestly need to go through that, because it really stopped me from talking to anyone else the way that hurt me. It hurt me so bad because I was deceived in it was deceived in the spiritual realm. Because before I was talking to him, I was talking to just guys in, what does they say, in transgressions of my sins, or I was just in my sins, just willingly living in my sin, like tattoos, piercings, going out, clubs, drinking, I was doing it all. So back then, you don't care. It's just like, it is what it is. If he leave, you on to the next one. This one hit me different because it was spiritually, because it just showed me how crafty they say that person is. I don't want to say his name. That person is. He's so crafty. Like, he knows how to get to us. So it really got to me, because I was like, oh my gosh, this one hit different. I ain't never been in this one right here. I said, oh, he good. I'm gonna give it to him. That man good. Not that boy, but that person, that crafty person, he good. I'm telling you, he good. But he's not that good, because I seen the red flags and God showed it to me. I'm the one who chose to stay, because I like the feeling of someone just wanting the feeling to be wanted type thing. So I was like, all right, whatever. He apologized, and he's asking, is it okay to do this? Is it okay if I do that? It's okay. Like, I've never had that before. I'm like, what is this? Is this heaven sent? Y'all, when I say test the fruit, why did I think that was okay? Like, he was smoking. No, he was He was doing stuff that wasn't godly. It wasn't godly. And I thought that was just the norm. That's why you have to have your own relationship with Jesus. Have your own relationship with Jesus, and he will point out to you what he likes and what he don't like. He will get into you. God got a sense of humor, baby. His sense of humor, it's so crazy because I'm sorry, y'all. I'm off track, but it's so crazy. We supposed to be talking about my move. Okay, I'm gonna get back on it, but hold on. It's so crazy because it used to be certain times where I really freshen my faith, and like God is showing me who He is. He does the same kind of thing. I don't want to say the same thing, but I've seen with my friend. He shows you who He is at first. Like He does miracles, signs, and wonders in the first, because it's like He wants to. I don't want to say reel you in, but He just showing you who He is and what He can do. So He was reeling me in the beginning. So like stuff that I be thinking in my brain, you know what? Stuff that I be thinking in my brain, positive things, He just doing certain things. Someone would ask me, hey, have you done this? And I'm like, I ain't even say nothing. I just prayed about it. Like, what? I'm like, how you know that? But okay. So back to the guy. I was living in my own world, doing my own thing, and I said I was moving to Houston, but I said, God, let me get on your page. So me and him, we ended that. And once we ended that, I was like, okay, I was trying to do stuff on my own, still trying to do stuff on my own. So then I was like, you know what? Let me go back to Jesus. Let me go back to Jesus, because this spiritual one took me. It took me there. Like, it took me there. Like, normally I can just brush stuff off and be like, all right, on to the next person. But being as though that one hit spiritually, as far as like, it messed with my mental, because I don't be thinking too much of guys. I don't think too much into it. It messed with my mental. So I was like, you know what? Let me get back with God. So I got back with God. He was just revealing to me what I was facing, the spirit of rejection. It played a big role in my life of how I treated myself, how I treated people, how I went about my day-to-day life. So once I got healed from that, once I got really to the root and to the cause of why I am the way I am, why I'm such this perfectionist, why I think everything has to be perfect, why I think everything has to be in a certain structure, he really broke it down to me like, this is why, this is when it came in, this is why. So I was like, you know what? God revealed to me so much. I was actually going to this church. I mean, he told me to leave the church, but the church in the beginning is good for beginners, because it makes you want to evangelize. It makes you want to get into God. It makes you want to go out and heal people. You know what? I'm pumped. Let's go evangelize. Let's go talk about Jesus. Jesus this, Jesus that. I'm not gonna lie, that church got me wanting to speak on Jesus. That church got me listening to gospel music all the time. That church got me, let me not say that church. Jesus got me wanting to listen to it, but he used that church to get me there. So I said, oh yeah, this is cool. And they were young. It was a young group of people, and I was like, all right, God, this lit. Because at first it wasn't lit. It was like, where is the cute guys at? The young women at? Like, where is y'all at in this walk of Christ? Like, I don't see nobody with tattoos. I see everybody buttoned up, white shirts, white collar, judging people. So I was like, all right, God, we back with it. So once we got back with it, he started revealing things to me. He started tearing off each layer of me, piece by piece. But this time, he took a little longer. He took a little longer than I thought. But it'd be so crazy. You think that it's long for our time because we think God's supposed to work just like that. But he wants to really see how you're going to move with him. So he was peeling off piece by piece. He was working on my anger. He was working on, I'm still getting worked on my laziness, but he was working on a lot of things. And when he finally revealed to me that I'd be moving, it was through that church. I ain't say nothing to nobody. I was writing stuff down of what I want for myself. How I'm my biggest critic. I feel like we're our biggest critic, but I'm my biggest critic. I'm like, I can be doing more. I can be doing more. God blesses me or something. It's like, all right, I could be doing more. I could be doing more. So in this season, God was blessing me with my clients. God was blessing me with just a lot of things. And I'm just like, all right, God, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Like, I'm on the road. Let's go. Let's go. And then I was seeing a lot of license plates. It was like Texas, Texas, Texas. Let me see. I think I deleted them. But it was like Texas, Texas, Texas. And I'm like, why do I keep seeing so many Texas plates? I ain't never say nothing to nobody. Like, look, Texas, Texas, Texas. And these was like back to back. Sometimes even in the same day. Texas. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on, dude? What's going on? What I first did at first, I called a friend of mine, well, my mom's friend, but I'm cool with her as well. I called her just to try to get a confirmation to see if God speak to her, because it was one time God had spoke to her to tell me about a concert not to go to, and I was like, all right, let me call her. Maybe she got a better relationship with God than I do, because God ain't really saying. He giving me little subliminals, like, I need you to hit me with a car. I don't need you to tap me on the shoulder, please. So I called her. I was like, yeah. This the only person, mind you, this the only person I tell. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be moving to Dallas. I'm like, yeah, God. I'm waiting on the phone. Like, yeah, God told me that you were going to be moving there. It's going to be a blessing. She was like, oh, okay. Who have you talked about it with? I'm like, damn, I just told her my plans. She ain't got nothing for me. I was treating her like she was a freaking genie, though, and I see why God ain't tell her. So a couple weeks after that, I don't know if it was before or after. My memory right now is a little jogged, but after that, I was listening to Wednesday night service one time, and the guy, before he even said it, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the clip. And I'm going to insert it. I'm going to find a clip and I'm going to insert it. Because this was the same night, the same day or the day before I prayed, like, God, please send me a confirmation. Like, please send me a confirmation that you're telling me to move. The pastor said, it's some of y'all who not being obedient to God. Like, something along these lines. He was like, y'all not being obedient. God wants you to move somewhere, or he wants you to do something different. And you haven't done it yet. I'm like, to a new state, he might be calling you to move. Be obedient. I said, oh. So yeah, I was punching the air. Like, I said, that's what I'm talking about. Like, well, God, listen. God know what to do with certain people, and he know how to talk to his kids, okay? And God knew I get excited about little stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, God? All right. That's where we at with it. So I said, boom, I'm moving. I ain't know where I was moving to. I ain't tell nobody. I didn't know nothing. At this point, all right, I know I'm moving, and I know it's Texas. But we're in Texas. Now I'm like, oh, I'm going to Houston. I thought I was going to Houston. And in Houston, we got a problem because God said, no, baby. I didn't tell you to go to Houston. I told you to go to Dallas. I said, God dang. And it's so crazy. Up until like the couple weeks before I was leaving, I'm like, are you sure you want me to go to Dallas? Like, because my last encounter with Dallas, I didn't like it. I had went to the Sarah Jakes conference. And I was like, let me just tour the area. I toured the area. It looked terrible. Oh my God, you are not calling me to this place. I'll stay in Maryland. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because maybe at that time, he didn't need me to know his plans for me just yet, because I didn't know if I was fully healed from everything. And I don't want to start telling people my plans prematurely. When you tell me stuff prematurely, or tell people stuff prematurely, we fumble the bag, or the enemy gets a hold of it, and people start praying down on what God has planned for you. So I'm kind of happy he didn't tell me beforehand. So I had seen a car, and I was like, okay, but where though? Like, I started packing all my stuff up, and I'm like, but where am I going though? Like, where in Texas? Like, where? And then he was talking to me a lot through license plates. So I had seen a license plate that said Irving, Plano, and something else. And I was like, Irving? So remember I told you I went to Sarah Jakes conference. I had looked at my ticket. I had looked at my my hotel confirmation when I went down there. I was like, well, let me just see what hotel and what area I stayed at when I went to the Sarah Jakes, because she was in Arlington, Texas. I was like, I don't know if it's Arlington, Texas, but it said Plano, Irving, and something else. And I was like, you know, let me look. It said Dallas, Irving, or Plano. I was like, let me just look to see where I was at for my hotel. when I went to the Sarah Jakes. That thing said Irving, Texas. I said, well, what a coinky dink. I guess I'm going to Irving. So I was like, all right, I guess we going to Irving. I still not listening. Hard-headed me, I'm still not listening. So I started looking. I say I'm not listening because I didn't find everything I wrote down on my list. And I'm like, God, I cannot settle if I'm moving out of state. Every apartment that I had, I settled. I hated the brown cabinets. I hated the carpet floors. I just hated everything. It wasn't nice lighting. I got my big space, but I didn't get nothing else that I wanted. I just got a big space. So I was like, all right, God. Right now, Urban is expensive. Rent $25, $26 for a 2-bedroom apartment. This small. You have to buy your own washer and dryer. Or it's a stackable mini-size washer and dryer. I'm like, God, this ain't it. This ain't it. So me being a knucklehead, try to do my own thing. I started looking for apartments elsewhere. So I seen some apartments in Fort Worth. And it's so crazy because I'm so glad I did not go with that deceiving thought in my head. So I seen these apartments in Fort Worth. They was everything I wanted. The only thing that was a downside was I was losing out on storage space to store my things. So I was like, all right, I found these apartments. They're all white, 2-bedroom, in my price range. It was like $2,100. Actually, it was 20. Yeah, it was 2055. So it was $2,000. $2,000 playing with $55. $2,000. That's it. Come with a washer and dryer. But the downside was the parking was outside and the apartments was outside, basically. I was like, I don't like that. But I did the application. Once you do the application, you gotta put a deposit down. So I paid about $275 to that apartment. This is what happens when you're not in God's plan, and when you don't go with what God has for you. I've wasted about $380 because I'm trying to rush. I have to stop. So I built that apartment and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm moving to Fort Worth, God, because I don't see nothing in Urban that you said that I was going. I'm not doing this. Literally, I applied my daughter for school out there in Fort Worth. I did the apartment for her. I did everything. I just didn't sign the lease. They sent the lease, and I was just like, let me keep looking just to be sure. It's like I was still trying to have a backup plan, even though God told me to go somewhere else. I'm over here still trying to have a backup plan. So I was like, I'm gonna keep trying. So I kept trying. Mind you, this was 2 more weeks. I mean, this was probably like another week later. I didn't find nothing. Finally, like not even finally. So I found something. It was in Irving, but I was settling. It was the rent I wanted. It was in Irving, but it was 800 square feet, 1 bed with a den. I said, this not it. I applied and everything. I was like, you know what, God, let me just stay low. Let me stay down. I guess you don't want me to have what it is that you have for me. Dang, I felt a tear about to come. I guess it's not what you have for me, so I'm going to just stay low. And my mom, and then, hold on, let me backtrack. So then, when I applied my daughter for the school in Fort Worth, and that's how I knew that was on me. But in Fort Worth, my mom had got an email from the school. Mind you, I ain't tell nobody I was moving or nothing. So she had got the email, or she said she looked up the school. It was one of them. We was talking about it, and she was like, so you moving to Texas? I said, oh man. It's crazy. I don't know how that encounter went, but she found out. So I was like, dang, all right. So I found this other place. I was trying to keep it a secret because I just feel like when you start telling people stuff, that's when you start teeter-tottering, because I'm still coming up in this faith. I'm still don't know what I'm about to do for a job. I'm still an independent. I'm still an entrepreneur. I'm still a mom. And I don't need in my ear. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? I don't need that. So I just wanted straight positivity. And the word, the Bible, was giving me what I needed. God said he promised me milk and honey. God said he will provide. I'm waiting for him to provide. So when I got the confirmation, I said, boom, it's on. But I'm kind of glad I went through that, because it probably was for my mom to see how God works. Maybe, you know, sometimes when you're a believer in faith, and like even right here, do you really want what God has for you? God gives you everything and you get complacent. It says we need to remember to thank God, the success he gives us, and to consistently acknowledge all the blessings. All of our blessings come from him. So it's like all of our parents are older, they're older in the faith, so it's just like they feel like their relationship with God is where it is. But sometimes we get complacent and we just think God is just going to be there, or sometimes we get complacent and we forget how God is. So in my case, I feel like my family forgot how God is. I mean, you're just so complacent with going to church on Sunday, speaking to him, writing your journal, and it's just like, no, he is more than just a conversational God. He is a provider. So maybe I'm the one that needed to show my family how God really is. So, boom, back to the apartment. I was like, all right, dang, I'm just settle for it. That apartment was 1,700, one bedroom, and then 800 square feet, about this big. I'm like, my couch is, let me show you my couch. My couch is the size of that living room. It's no way. It's no way. God knows everything that I have. It's no way he's going to approve of that. And at this point, I'm like, he's not doing that to me. He's not doing that to me. I wasted another $75. Finally, yes, finally, after I found this apartment and wasted my money, after I found that apartment, the 1,700, 800 square feet, I found this apartment. I said, dang it. I'm like, all right, whatever. At this point, they're running my credit. This will be the third apartment that I didn't apply for in here. But I was like, I heard that if you do it consecutively back to back, they don't see it. It's not on your credit report just yet. So I was like, let me hurry up and apply. So I applied for this one, waiting for them to call me back. I knew I was going to get it because my credit is good. But as far as showing proof of income, I'm like, how much you say I got made? But at first, I didn't find this on apartments.com. I didn't see this anywhere. I literally was searching Google. This was not on apartments.com. Once I found it on Google, then I seen that it was on apartments.com, but it's like it wasn't there when I was looking the first time. So I went to their website, y'all. Why for this apartment that I'm in right now? This apartment was, let me look. Let me just confirm. This apartment was expensive. This apartment was expensive. Why the heck did I find it just in time? Because they was having a sale, and they include rent and, well, they add on cable with that. So $70 plus $70 for cable. That's how much I was paying in Maryland. Oh, they went down because this apartment was like $2,600. They went down. Right now for this apartment, they got a sale for right now for $22.95, so $23. But for this apartment, it is $24, almost $2,500. I was like, oh, bet, because I wasn't paying $3,000 for this apartment. I was just going to have to move to Fort Worth at that apartment that was $22,000. So I was like, all right, dang, let me apply. Then I applied. They said, yep, you have to apply and put the $200 security deposit down. I said, at this point, I spent about $500 wasted money in these security deposits and these application fees. I'm like, where's the application fees? That's $50, and then after you get approved, then you pay. Why do I have to get it? Why do I have to put $2 down? Like, what if I want to change my mind? Like, you know what? It's okay. But I got approved the same day. Now it comes to proof of income. And I got approved with the income on the other place. I feel like I was kind of good because they kind of did the same type of transactions of how I verify my income. So I was like, all right, I feel like I'm going to be good. But it was just the fact that I try to do it my own way. And when I try to do it my own way, I wasted money. And I feel like every time it's time for me to learn a lesson, I'm losing money on the back end. I'm like, I don't want to keep losing money because I'm just out here just doing anything. Like, I want to be in God's will. I don't want to have to learn my lesson through money. Like, God, teach me another way. But I'd rather learn my lesson through money. Listen, I have this is a story to talk about another time. I had stories where I had to really learn the lesson the hard way. And I said, God, don't do it again, please. Now I was like, all right, I'm gonna mess with your finances. Hey, what's up? Like, just give me a little tap on the shoulder, but it's okay because I'm happy for that because I don't want to be a kid still trying to drink from the bottle, a baby still trying to drink from the bottle. I feel like when I get big consequences, that means I have elevated. If he's rocking the boat with my finances, that means that he's going to rock the boat when it's time to reload me back up. It just wouldn't make sense. So like, you know, the statue thing where it's like they be holding to even out, like it wouldn't make sense if he rocked the boat this much for me and just poured into me and I go right here. It just wouldn't make sense. He's not like that. He's big. He's greater. He's huge. So for him to just test me like this, not even test me, I tested myself. For me to test him like that, it say don't test your God. And I feel like I tested him. In Deuteronomy 6, it says, do not put the Lord your God to the test. And that was my fault. So back to what I was saying. God was just speaking to me like that. And then in this process, he was just picking people away. I really only had 2 people I was talking to. And the 2 people I was speaking with, he picked away. I'm just like, okay, God, well, it's just me and you now. Then I started watching this girl on YouTube. First I was watching this guy, Nicholas or something like that. He does like reaction videos, but it's like a godly reaction. Then I started watching this girl, the real Key Cottrell. I really needed her because literally she was going through what I'm about to go through. She moved blindly. I moved here blindly. I didn't know what it looked like. I was just off of faith and prayer. Like, I didn't see the apartments. I could only go off of the photos. And I was just like, you know what, God, I trust you. You know what your daughter like. And do. And this apartment not outside. And I can control my AC through my phone. And I got the internet. And I got lights everywhere. White cabinets. It's a stackable washer and dryer, but it's full size. It's 2 tubs because my daughter likes to take baths, and I didn't. Like, I want her to have her own independence. I don't want her to have to keep coming to me for things. She turns on her shower herself. She puts the water in the tub herself. She gets her bubbles herself. She puts her lotion on. She puts her clothes. She's even in her room right now by herself. Door closed. Look. So I said, and I even said, God, when I move to this new location, I need her to sleep in her own room. I need her to sleep in her own room. Like, I need mommy to have mommy time, like right now. Thank God. She goes to bed at 8 o'clock, so we start winding down around 7:30. Like, hey, let's sit down on the couch. But yeah, like God knows what his kids want. Don't be afraid to jump out there. But just don't move prematurely and don't move too late. I'm not saying he can't come back around, but sometimes you miss your blessing if you wait too long. If you wait too long, you miss your blessing. And I can talk a little bit about it in another video of how God plucked my friends away. I'm still cool with them. Sometimes it do suck, like, dang, who do I talk to about this excitement? Who do I talk to about this journey? Who do I show how good God is? And it's like, you know what? He has given me this platform, on the internet of TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and it's like, talk to his people. Because God heard what I didn't hear. God seen what I didn't see. God knew what people needed in the time that they needed it. So maybe I just needed to step away for him to really talk to them. I ain't really asked him. He knows how your girl is. When I really need something, I will be on my hands and knees praying. And you know what? I will be on my eyes closed praying. I need to get on my knees, but I will be praying so hard. Like, please answer me. And I feel like the most recently, when I'm really just sitting there crying and just like, God, I can't do this. I need help. And it's not even so much I can't do this. I put a lot of blame on me. Like, dang, what could I have done? What could I have... Oh my God. What the heck? Why am I crying? It's like, dang, what could I have done to change their answer? What could I have done to make that better? What did I do that's so wrong for them to hate me so much? But I have to remove the person from the spirit. And it's not even the person, it's the spirit that's operating in them. So sometimes, like, I don't even know how we got here. We're talking about my move to Dallas. But it's just sometimes it's just like, sometimes it's just not true. It's not true. But let's go back to this. I'm gonna really get fully in detail about it in my podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to Pure Essence Podcast, and I'm gonna tag it in the end of this video. It says Deuteronomy 6:10-12. I'm gonna get into this one because it really stuck out to me. It says, when the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you, a land with large flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with kinds of goods you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant, then you will eat till you are satisfied. Hold on, I had to stop because it said eat till you're satisfied. I've been eating till I'm full. And I need to stop with that gluttony spirit, because I was like today, but I was conscious of what I was doing. So I was making food. My mom had made some asparagus, and I had made some mac and cheese. Mine had seafood mac and cheese. My daughter had regular mac and cheese with some rice. And my chicken was taking too long in the oven. I was like, you know what? I just got some root beer today. And then as I got some root beer today, I'm like, I can make me a root beer float. So maybe I don't need the chicken. So I was like, all right, let me make my other food first. And then I won't be as full for my dessert. So I made a conscious effort today to not wait for the chicken and just eat the asparagus, mac and cheese, and rice. After that, I got me a root beer float. So I was satisfied. I was satisfied. And it's crazy because I want another one. And it's a 10 at night. My bad. It says, then you will eat and you are satisfied. Be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, the land of slavery. It's so crazy because before I was about to come on here, I was just like, God, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to speak about to your people? I feel like I've been in the place of doing what's normal. And what's normal to me is doing hair and makeup. I don't know how to veer into this spiritual world, into this spiritual lane. I don't know what to say. So the fact that in my prayer, I heard Deuteronomy 6, and I started reading it. I was literally on this page. I was reading the beginning page. I went back to take some notes. Why did it flip to this page? I said, you know what? I'm gonna let you do your thing. You said, I didn't tell you to read it. I'm telling you, read this. But yeah, it said, don't forget the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. So right now, I'm in this new land that he swore to my ancestors. And it's so crazy because when you think about it, like, you are really on the prayers and the hopes of your ancestors. Like, the world we're living in now is really built off of someone else's hard work and labor. It's just crazy. Because it's like we're reaping the blessings of the slavery they was in. So, like right now, who would have thought that I would be in Dallas? This is probably somebody's prayer way back in slavery, like, get me out of here. And then in his commandments, he has stuck out and said, fear the Lord your God, serve him only, and take your oath. Take your oaths in his name. Do not follow other gods, the gods of the peoples around you. Y'all know what they talking about. Don't act oblivious. But if y'all want me to get into it, I can. But don't serve no other gods but this one God, Jesus Christ, the Trinity. Okay? God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. I believe in that, yes. I'm gonna get more into depth about it in my podcast, but that was just how I heard God telling me to move to Texas. I had to put my big girl panties on and drive a 6-foot truck. I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because it's a 6-foot truck, you're driving 19 hours, but In my head, I just kept thinking, it's only 2 days. It's only 2 days. 2 days is go by fast in hair world, because it's like, that's it. Like, 2 days. It's only 2 days. What is this? This is really bothering me. I was like, you know what? I got this. And when I was driving it one time, the spirit of fear had came up on me and was like getting nervous because I was passing this truck driver. And this truck driver had a big truck, like it was real big. Like I'm on this lane and he's right here in the middle, and I'm like, I'm about to hit the wall if I do it. But then instantly, literally instantly, a voice came to me and said, "Why are you afraid? I am with you." I lied to you not. The fear left me so fast, and I was like, "You're right. Fear left that fast." And that's how God wants us to be with him. Just know that he's with you. When you're doubting, when you don't feel the best, just know he's with you. Literally sitting right here. Can't feel him. I wish sometimes I can't feel like a little hug, but he is right there. His word is a hug. His word puts you in the right place you need to be. So that was just me ranting on about my trip to Dallas. I actually love it here. It was crazy because at first I said I hated it, but I really love it here. I really I don't think I want to go anywhere else. Unless it's the San Juan. It's like, I don't know how their government is out there. But I really want to go nowhere else. Like everything, I love that I can shop at multiple Walmarts. I love that I can just do it all. But don't forget to check out my podcast. Pure Essence Podcast. I will be speaking more in depth of what God wants for us, the love that he wants us to give him. God wants us to love him and keep his commandments. Love him with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. It'd be so crazy because sometimes when I think back in my old ways and how I was, I'm just like, I was really hurting God for real. You know when somebody do something, one of your friends continue to go back to that same person you told them to leave, and they continue to do it and they don't listen. I just know God was like that with me for 20 years. Well, let me not say 20 years. For 10 years. 10 years is a long time. And it's like we do so much sin in 10 years and we want God to change our life in 2 weeks. We not being fair. Like, we're not being fair. All this sin weighing us down, and we want God to bring us up here in 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not saying he can't. He'll change your life around. But let's think about it. Let's think about that. Does that make sense? No. But thank you so much for watching my channel. This was a little... yeah. If you feel like I ain't get more in detail, if you have more questions, just let me know, and I'll be answering in the comments below. If you guys are in Dallas and I'm new to Dallas, just let me know. Like, let me know. I do hair. Full-time hairstylist, full-time mom, full-time content creator. It's just like, pew. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if y'all liked it because y'all motivate me to keep going. Because honestly, I'm like, who wants to just sit here and listen to me talk? I don't be talking about nothing. But it's like, I don't know. I might be that one for that one person. I don't know. I might be that one person that one person needs. Even if it's one person. Even if it's one person and you got my message. Thank you. Kisses. Thank you so much, guys. Come on.